if I am the best is, the best it was, the best ever will be. There'll be none before me, there'll be none after me. Therefore, I am the one and only Jake Kobe, and welcome to Wrestling Made Simple. We got an action-packed week this week with your news of the week, followed by your SmackDown Raw reviews, and then we go into a review of the Royal Rumble 2013. A match made in heaven of CM Punk and The Rock, a great Royal Rumble. It was a fun show. We'll get into that later. Your reading of the Book of Rules, a drink of the week, and then the Battle Droid of the week. Let's get into the news this week, though, as WWE has done something amazing. They have apparently signed Bray Wyatt to a Legends contract. Bray Wyatt, who passed earlier this year, so any use of his likeness will actually go to benefit his family. WWE will apparently not make any money on it. To me, that is amazing by WWE, and shout out to them for that. Shout out to a wrestler who underwent surgery this week of CJ Perry, formerly Lana in WWE. She underwent surgery on her hand for an infection. Apparently it went well. She is healing up in the hospital. Congratulations to her. Well wishes. Hope to see her back in Ring of Honor and AEW soon. And big news for the WWE, as apparently the hit that was the NFL championships, there will now be NHL championships. For those of you who don't know, the NFL championships had the team logo. Some very cool designs on the side. You had them appearing on like all kinds of different TV appearances and everything. You would even have Paul Heyman show up on SmackDown and make a joke of he saw the Jets won, which he's apparently a Jets fan, and he would just, I read it now because I'm a Jets fan, he just polishes it, make sure it looks good. I love that. I thought that was hilarious. But so they will be making NHL logos, and I can't wait to see what they come up with. The NHL logos are amazing. I love every team's logo, so this is going to be cool to see. And finally, let's get into SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen. Let's pull up the news and get to it. Yeah, that's not it. That's next week's SmackDown. SmackDown kicked off with the Universal Champion Roman Reigns. Fans booed Roman Reigns, and he told them to keep their mouths shut, and he then said Solo Sikoa is next in line to become the Tribal Chief. Roman Reigns then came out and said he's coming for Roman. Orton then challenged him to for the WWE Championship. He said he hasn't once thought of Orton in the 18 months he's been off. Reigns then told Randy that he has to earn a title match, that this isn't 2007 anymore. We then get Carmelo Hayes versus Grayson Waller in the number one contenders tournament for the United States Championship. Carmelo Hayes would pick up the win in his first ever match on the main roster. So shout out to Carmelo Hayes. Great way to start off a career, man. We then get L.A. Knight, offering his help to Randy Orton backstage. Orton said they were cool after their win against Solo and Jimmy, but warned Knight to stay out of his way. This was cool to see. I actually really like it's kind of a tweener Randy Orton. They're teasing a heel turn, but I don't think they'll pull it because they like Randy Orton as a top face. I really hope, and I was the one who kind of suggested this and opened it up on Twitter, I would love to see Orton versus KO at WrestleMania. We then get Kevin Owens defeating Austin Theory in a number one contenders tournament. This was a fun little match. Kevin Owens and Austin Theory kind of clicking. They had a little bit of a tiny feud when Theory had his first main roster run, teaming with Seth Rollins as one of his disciples. Theory would kind of tease some matches with Owens, but we would never get to it. So they do have chemistry in the ring, but I think Kevin Owens has chemistry with anyone. We then get Damage Control versus Zelina Vega and Michin, Mia Yim. It was Asuka and Kairi Sane. Damage Control was able to pick up the win, kind of building up Damage Control as a main roster threat even more than they already are. We would then get Michael Cole announcing that Charlotte Flair will miss WrestleMania, unfortunately. She will be out of action for 9 months due to her freak knee injury she suffered last week on SmackDown. Sucks to see it, Charlotte. Hope you get better soon. And who knows, maybe you'll make a miraculous recovery and show up at WrestleMania. We then get Randy Orton versus Jimmy Uso. Solo Sikoa came out to interfere, but LA Knight took him out. Roman Reigns then laid out LA Knight. This led to a brawl. Randy Orton hitting the RKO on Jimmy. LA Knight comes out, makes a save for Randy again after getting back up. But the numbers game getting a little too much, and AJ Styles shows up. AJ Styles, by the way, looking ripped as hell. Someone made the joke, it's 1988 in WWE again, because everyone looks like they're on roids right now. I mean, Jesus Christ. But, still, it was fun to see AJ Styles. Did he just hit LA Knight? Apparently AJ Styles is a heel and beat the shit out of LA Knight. Now, okay, this is where we're going with. Okay. Alright. What the fuck were you idiots thinking? AJ Styles, I get that they're trying to build up a good heel for LA Knight to face, since it looks like Roman will be facing off against Randy, but still, it was very weird. Not as weird as Raw, though. Let's go to Raw, as Raw kicked off with JD McDonough versus R-Truth in a Miracle on 34th Street fight. Judgment Day cutting a promo. R-Truth coming in saying he challenges JD to the match, and JD says, "Truth, the match has already been made official. It's been official for like a week." R-Truth, man, you gotta love him, man. That guy just, he can make anyone laugh. He'll break anyone. He then challenged JD to a loser leaves Judgment Day match. Even though JD is already in Judgment Day and R-Truth isn't. R-Truth then beat JD McDonough, sending JD through a table. It was revealed later on that the stipulation was a joke. JD will not be leaving Judgment Day. For now, according to Damian Priest. We then get Nia Jax going to announce her entry into the Royal Rumble. Becky Lynch comes out and says, "No one cares. You came back. No one still cares. The man's here. They care." She then challenged her to a match at day 1. It was accepted, and we will finally get that match in 2 weeks on day 1. Which is the first Raw in the new year, for those of you who didn't know. We then get Gunther versus The Miz in a very good match. This should have been Match of the Year candidate. It went over 3 segments. You had everything that you needed. The false finishes. The Miz looking like he was about to win it so fucking close. A split second away. He just rolled the wrong way. That was genius. I loved it. And to Bret Hart, by the way, fuck you, Bret Hart. For those of you who didn't hear the news, Bret Hart has said Triple H is good at nothing but conniving. He has never had one good idea and never will. And he says WWE is in very bad hands with Triple H. Ticket sales are up. Viewership is up. People are talking about the product now more than ever. Even Dave Meltzer is giving it more stars than ever. People are saying this is some of the best product they've seen from WWE in years. So, yeah. Bret, you're an amazing wrestler. But I think he has become what he hated most, and that is someone who doesn't want to put over the next generation. He has become the guy who is like, this is why my generation will always be the best. Nothing else is better. Wrestling is a wheel. It keeps moving forward. It's a revolution. It will never be stopped. A movement stops. A generation ends. A revolution doesn't end. It keeps moving forward. That's what wrestling is. One day, we're all going to be gone. There's still going to be professional wrestling. There's still going to be everything. And, again, pray to God it doesn't happen. But I don't wake up tomorrow. Guess what? There's still going to be WWE. People are still going to be wrestling. And again, it's wrestling. It keeps moving forward. It doesn't go backwards. So, just my opinion on that. Again, Bret Hart, one of the greatest to ever set foot in a ring. But the guy just needs to shut his mouth on some things. I understand having an opinion is awesome. Podcasts are full of opinions. I have mine, clearly. But there's a time and a place to finally go, you know what? Maybe I should bite my tongue. Because this match was awesome. Match of the year candidate, in my opinion, Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser have a backstage segment after. Gunther would finally beat The Miz, which means The Miz can no longer challenge for Gunther's championship as long as for Intercontinental Championship as long as Gunther is champion. We then get Shinsuke Nakamura being the Nightmare Before Christmas, the American Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, and these are the words. Cody Rhodes, you bastard, you cancer, you prancer, you nitwit. You're vomit, you're stupid, your father was inbred. They then had a very cool brawl which ended with Cody standing on the table. Awesome to see that, but I'll get to this more later on my opinion on this. We then get your Women's Tag Team Championship match of Chelsea Green and Piper Niven defending against Kayden Carter and Katana Chance, and boy did they prove me wrong. I thought this match would be a throwaway. It was a great tag team match. I honestly felt like better than the men's later on. Great job by the women. Stole the show. Almost stole the show if it wasn't for Gunther and Miz, but definitely stole the show from the main event. Kayden Carter and Katana Chance defeat Chelsea Green and Piper Niven to become your new champions. Great on them. We then get a squash match of Ivar defeating Akira Tozawa. Akira Tozawa actually showing some fight, though, and turned this into a 5-minute match instead of a 30-second squash. So, awesome to see that. Ivar would pick up the win, though. Just want to say that. Seth Rollins would come out to cut a promo in his hometown of Des Moines, Iowa. Drew McIntyre comes out and says, listen, you're the one guy who understands me. You and your wife understand me almost more than anybody. We've told people that we can't be there for the funerals. We can't be there for the special moments that everyone misses. We can't be there for this stuff. And that was an amazing promo. And then you get Seth Rollins saying, Drew, I don't understand you. I pity you. Seth Rollins then leaves the ring. Drew McIntyre attacks Seth Rollins and says, I don't need your damn pity. Thought that was an awesome segment. Drew McIntyre beating the crap out of Rollins. Really makes me excited for day one. We then get Jey Uso versus Ludwig Kaiser. In a very fun match, Jey Uso would pick up the win. Good to see Jey and Ludwig actually showing each other some really good strengths. You would actually have Gunther tell Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci that, sorry, I have to say it like that, it's contractually obligated actually, that if they don't pick up the slack these next few weeks while he is away, then you are going to see an implosion of Imperium. So you have to say it like that. We then get the Judgment Day versus the Creed Brothers in a tag team championship match. That was very, very good. Again, overshadowed by the women's tag team match in my opinion. But still a very good match. I really enjoyed it. Thought it was fun. The Creed Brothers would end up losing the match after Judgment Day hit a south of heaven. You would actually see one of the Creed brothers' shoulders up during the pin. I believe it was Julius. His shoulder would be up. So it looked like he actually kicked out. So I guess they're going to use that for a rematch. Michael Cole had the best line. He said, no doubt in my mind that Julius Creed and Adonis Creed will be tag team champions in the future. Very soon. I completely agree these guys are tag team champion material. And to not make them tag team champions would be the biggest blown thing in tag team wrestling since not putting it on Heavy Machinery or Enzo and Cass. Those are the last two big blows I could see comparing them to if they don't give them the tag team run. Whew. Well, that was Raw and SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen. If I had to give them a grade this week combined, B+, A-. Thought it was very fun. Thought it was very good. Enjoyed every second of it. And there were a couple segments that I didn't really like. And I'll get into the main one in my Battle Droid of the Week. But I thought that there was I'm trying to remember the big one from SmackDown that I didn't like. And it can't hit me right now. The other main one from Raw was probably the Nia Jax segment, just because I truly just don't feel she's gotten any better. But let's move on to the Royal Rumble pay-per-view 2013. An attendance of 15,000 people in Phoenix. A buy rate of 512,000 people. Tagline, finally. It kicked off on the pre-show with a match between Antonio Cesaro and The Miz for the United States Championship. A face Miz. This was so weird to see. The Miz feuding with Antonio Cesaro as Miz was the happy-go-lucky American versus the evil foreigner. Yeah, this is one of those I will actually agree with Brian Zane on. I don't like this. Don't like these problems. Don't like these comparisons. Cesaro would pick up the win over The Miz in a 7-minute match, and it was good. Not great, but it was good. We then get a last man standing match of Alberto Del Rio versus The Big Show. A 60-minute last man standing match for the World Heavyweight Championship. This was a fun match. You would actually see Alberto Del Rio win this match by taping The Big Show's legs to the rope. Him and Big Show had been feuding for a while. This was a very cool match to see. You would then slowly and surely get a Alberto Del Rio face turn as he would go to face Jack Swagger for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. Him being Jack Swagger, then keeping face for a little while before turning back heel eventually after losing the title to Dolph Ziggler, Mr. Money in the Bank. You would then get a tag team championship match of Team Hell No versus Team Rhodes Scholars of Cody Rhodes and Damian Sandow. Team Hell No would pick up the win by submission. Fun match. Nothing really to write home about. It was okay. You would then get the 30-man Royal Rumble. This is kind of a modern generation, guys, except for basically number 2, which would be... number 2 was Chris Jericho. It would start off with Dolph Ziggler at number 1. Chris Jericho saying, I'm not going to be at the Royal Rumble. I will not be a part of it. Please stop telling me I'm going to show up. And then he shows up as number 2. It's a surprise entrant. That was very fun to see. You would have Kofi Kingston, Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, Heath Slater, Sheamus, Brodus Clay, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, John Cena, Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, Randy Orton, The Miz, Sin Cara, all these guys who are big names in the business now. Maybe not Sin Cara, but anyway. It would finally be won by John Cena, who would enter at number 19, going 26 minutes, having 4 eliminations. Kofi Kingston showing he's a Royal Rumble highlight reel, jumping on JBL's chair to get back into the ring. Great match, fun Royal Rumble. John Cena winning to then go on to face the winner of the main event, CM Punk versus The Rock. This was a cool match. It was a cool clash of styles, and watching it back, I actually really did enjoy it. CM Punk would win at first. At least it looked like he won. Mr. McMahon would come out and say, no, that isn't happening. No, you cheated. So here's what we're doing. We're restarting the match. The Rock would then come in. Rock bottom. People's elbow. 1, 2, 3. To set up a WrestleMania 29 rematch. John Cena versus The Rock for the WWE Championship. If you want to hear what happened about that, go listen to my WrestleMania 29 podcast. I believe I covered it on the run-up to WrestleMania 39. What number did I do it? I don't remember, so you're going to have to listen to all my podcasts going up to WrestleMania 39. Wink, wink. This is a fun pay-per-view to watch, even though it's only 5 matches. I just wish there was a women's match you could have thrown in there just to have something else. Whew. If I had to grade it, B minus, C plus. I could use a drink. How about a fun one? Because holidays are almost here, and no matter what you celebrate, please have a happy holidays. How about a Christmas tree shot? Half an ounce of Bailey's, half an ounce of cream de mint, and half an ounce of grenadine, and some whipped cream. You're going to layer the grenadine in the bottom of your glass. You're going to layer the cream de mint on top of that, and then you're going to add your Bailey's. Top with some whipped cream, sprinkle little sprinkles on there, and boom, you have your Christmas Eve. You have your Christmas Eve drink, your Christmas tree shot. Please drink responsibly. Do not drink and drive, and do not drink, if you are under 21 in the United States, do not overconsume on alcohol. Now we're reading from the Book of Rules. A letter from Titan Tower to the desk of Vince McMahon, July 19th, 2016. To the Superstars. Attention, Superstars. As a reminder, the WWE Draft strictly prohibits superstars from appearing on opposite brands' programming. You are only to compete for the brand you have been drafted to. No exceptions. A reading from the Book of Rules. And now, everybody, it is time for the Battle Droid of the Week. The Battle Droid of the Week is very simple for me. I mentioned it earlier. It's Shinsuke Nakamura or whoever wrote that fucking promo for him. That was... Your father is... You're talking about a man's dead father. He mentions his daughter, his wife in the promo. This is completely against the Paul Heyman school of wrestling. Of Paul Heyman telling people why to cut a shoot promo. Of Paul Heyman actually had the best line. He goes, I could sit here and shoot all night, but that doesn't matter. You could always look at a guy and go, I know your first wife cheated on you and your second kid really isn't your kid. Ha ha ha. What the fuck? I just want to see two guys fight. But if you turn that into a fight, then the promo draws money. You strike a good chord, people are going to pay to watch you fight. I don't want to watch this fight, man. If they're going to talk about someone who is truly inspirational in wrestling and say inbred, it's just a narrative that we need to get rid of people from the South apparently being with family members and all that shit. That's bullshit. Alright, just fight. We don't need this shit. This is the one we don't need. These two guys can have a match. Just Cody Rhodes, Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura is the heel. He hates Cody Rhodes because Cody Rhodes is everything he he should have been. And he didn't get. There you go. There's the fight. Let's have it. Because of that, Shinsuke, you are the Battle Droid of the Week. Congratulations.
Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening. I've been the Big Guy. This has been Wrestling Made Simple. Have a happy holidays. We'll continue to build a Royal Rumble next week. Thank you very much for listening. Have a great week.